Today, I'm going to review some of the quick tips I could give you for searching your motif for your American Experience Inquiry project. Now, again, you're going to have to take time to go through some of these databases and print materials, but please be aware that these are some places I would like you to start. So after you've completed your mining activity and you've accumulated key search terms and synonyms and events and individuals and organizations, you're going to want to go to our project page in Schoology. And again, you've joined this project page through your class. And you're going to see on this project page, there are databases. And again, there's a link here to the WHS LLC databases. First time logging in, you may have to type in Warriors all in lowercase letters. So I always keep that passkey here. If you want to learn more about our databases, you can always go to this TV screen on my Bitmoji and click on it. And there are many tutorials about the different tools we have available to you. So I'm going to click Databases. And it's going to take me to our database page. And again, I've already put in the passkey for today. The other way to get to this page is if you're on the LLC page and you click Databases. Again, I like to give you multiple ways to get to our tools. So once you're in your databases, I'm going to recommend that you go down to Contemporary Issue Databases. And the one that we're going to use because you're in an American Experience class is called Gale Opposing Viewpoints. Now, Opposing Viewpoints is going to give you reference articles, primary sources, and opinion articles, which are great. Remember, we need to decipher what is the purpose and what is the perspective of the author if we're using a contemporary piece of writing that is an opinion, but yet we need to be able to apply it to our inquiry. So when we come in here, every Gale database is set up the same way. You're going to notice that you're going to want to jump right here to the search bar. But I always recommend that we go to Browse Issues or Title List. So I'm going to start off with Browse Issues because I'm looking up the motif of hunger. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to see if hunger is listed here. And as you can see on my screen, it is not. Right away, this is where the mining activity is going to be very helpful to you to say, hunger is not listed here in this database, but what are other synonyms that I could look up or other topics or subjects that would relate to hunger? So that's really important to think about. So for example, poverty might be something that you want to look up. And poverty's here. And obviously poverty might relate to hunger. Now, if I go back for a second, back to the main page, and if I just start here and I type in hunger, notice it's going to give me a bunch of drop downs. I'll do that again. It's going to give me a bunch of hunger drop downs based on the term. Notice hunger and poverty come up. But again, hunger strikes are not most likely going to relate to your motif. So again, we want to think about which one of these terms is going to be best. So I'm just going to stick with hunger right now, as I said, which is the page I'm currently on. You're going to notice once you're on the hunger reference page, it's going to give you a lot of different types of resources. So obviously it gives us viewpoints. So those are perspectives with a bias and an opinion and a purpose. Primary sources, similar, could be many different types. Could be a photograph, could be a chart or graph, could be an experiment, can be a speech. So those are things that you want to look at. Magazines would be periodicals. So, for example, a publication like Time Magazine may have an article on hunger. Reference articles are more your encyclopedia type. So those are the ones that I would recommend that we start with. So right away, we get an article created for us based on hunger from an encyclopedia. Again, this is going to give us that context, that basic understanding in order to dissect this motif. Again, I get an author, I get an editor, I get a source right here. Now, remember, whenever we're in any of these databases, we're going to want to read and dig deeper. We're also going to want to cite our resources. So in order to cite, you're going to come up to the top of Gale and click on the Cite button, and you're going to see an MLA 8th edition citation. And you're going to hit Select and Copy, and you're going to want to bring that over to Noodle Tools in order to start building your works cited. Every database and every resource we use that is electronic is going to have this option. So we're going to just have to look for that cite button in the different databases. So again, you're going to read through the article, pull the information that's important, and start building that understanding of your motif. Now, a great keystroke to think about when you're using Gale or any database is a Control F, because I think I look for poverty within the article as a search term. It's going to pull up those terms. I love the Control F for finding important terms or phrases that I found in my mining activity. Now, remember, if you want to mark up this article digitally, you could highlight and add notes. That is a great option here as well. But remember that those notes will not be saved unless you push it out to that Google Drive. Now, remember, you're going to need to organize your Google Drive as well when you start populating with articles. One warning, once you leave the screen, your highlights in your notes are going to disappear. So remember, you need to highlight and annotate it with that option and this tool when you're on this page live. It will not save for future use. The other thing you may want to consider getting is the permalink. Now, a permalink is right here. This is a link that will take you directly to this page that you're on. We do not copy the one in the address bar. We get the permalink web address or URL when we're working in a database. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Again, reach out to me if you want to dig deeper, and I'll be happy to show you more resources.